What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Real Highlights podcast. Did not think I'd be recording a podcast at 10:45, but here I am. So I'm recording this right after Game 5 of the Lakers Heat game. That was insane. Super entertaining to watch. I think Butler had like a 35-point triple-double, like 35, 12, 11, I want to say. LeBron had 40 and 13. 80 is pretty hobbled. In case you guys can realize, he had an early ankle sprain, and then he has a bruised bone in his heel, and then he hurt that again at the beginning of the game. The way he went down, I thought it was a torn Achilles. Thought it was over. But crazy Lakers game. So we're gonna assume 80's probably most likely gonna be hobbled in the next game, right? He's gonna be injured, so he could win that game. He could win Game 6 and force Game 7 and have momentum, which could be insane. And LeBron could choke a 3-1 lead, which could happen. Would not be surprised if it happened. Actually, I would be surprised, but that's just a theory. Like, it totally could happen. And that will probably be the name of this podcast. Are the Heat going to come back and win the finals? The previous name was going to be Paul George to the Brooklyn Nets, which there's rumors for that. But at this point, I think LeBron James and the Miami Heat outdo that. So Butler at 35, 12, 11, 5 steals. Jay Crowder 11, Bam 13. Duncan Robinson, my boy, 26 points, 7 threes, and 1 3. 2 free throws, or 2. Kendrick Nunn had 14. LeBron had 40, 13, 7, 3. AD had 28 and 12. KCP of 16. Danny Green had an open 3 to win the game, and he missed it. Danny Green not making threes. Nothing new to this playoffs, if we're going to be honest. He has not made, let's check what's he doing. 33% from 3, 34% from the field. Yeah, not very good, in case you didn't know. Yeah, it's not great. Okay, so how, yeah, so what happened in those? So LeBron he drove and won. Crazy left-hand finish. Insane. Butler comes back, gets Markieff Morris on him. Post up, post fadeaway, hits it. And he hit it, and they're up. Okay, Heat up 1. I might have this order wrong, maybe. And then Lakers come down. LeBron drives, kicks to Danny Green, wide open 3, misses it. Markieff Morris gets the rebound, has Danny Green wide open behind him, has LeBron wide open on the wing, and tries to kick it to a triple-teamed Anthony Davis and throws it out of bounds. Triple-teamed Anthony Davis. Good idea. Not the right play. You had LeBron James wide open, who was hot from 3, and Danny Green wide open right behind you. It wasn't even behind him. He was on the side of him. He could have turned his head and saw him, which is kind of crazy. Like the new J.R. Smith. That could be a title. Markieff Morris, new J.R. Smith, confirmed in all caps. That'd be a good title and good thumbnail. And mic and views. That'd be great. Kendrick Nunn, I talked about him a little bit. He had a great game. He had a nice step back 3 that was really sweet. Tyler Hero didn't play his best, but he's a rookie. 12 points, 4 for 11. Duncan Robinson went 8 for 15. Bam, 13 points, 5 for 12. Butler, 11 for 19, 12 free throws, 1 for 3 from 3-point line. So yeah, going back to it, I totally thought that Anthony Davis play was an Achilles. The way he went down and grabbed it just reminded me of all the other Achilles injuries I've seen. Going back to the Kobe one, I think 2012 or 2013, when he went down, he's grabbed it. That one was bad. And then the KD one last year. Same deal. Same deal. Like, just grabs it, went down couple jumps, just like Anthony Davis, and then went down. And then DeMarcus Cousins, when he was on New Orleans, couple jumps, went down, and he didn't no contact on DeMarcus Cousins. Like, I don't know. Achilles, such a crazy injury. So So Miami Heat forced Game 6. They have a lot of momentum going into it. Butler has that killer mentality. Butler, they don't care. They're gonna win. I don't know if they're gonna win, but Butler, they're gonna keep it close. It's not gonna be a 50-point blowout like Game 1. They're definitely keeping it close. How do they win? So you need Duncan Robinson to play. You need him to have 15 to 20 or 26 again. You need Bam to play a little better than he did tonight. They still won, but if you can have Bam go from 12, 15 points to more like 20, be great. If Goran Dragic might come back, that'd be pretty crucial for them, but you don't need him to come back necessarily. He's obviously playing on a torn foot, so would he even be beneficial? Possibly not be beneficial. Who else is? I'm missing someone. Tyler Hero, that's what I'm missing. Tyler Hero can score 15 points on good efficiency. That'd be amazing for the Miami Heat. That'd be crucial. So, can Miami Heat win the series? Yes. Is it likely? I'd give him 25% chance to win the series. 25. And if they win Game 6, I'll up to 50. So, yeah. I think it's crazy that I predicted the Heat. They were my sleeper team, and I said they're going to beat Milwaukee. I wish I was doing this podcast back in April. I said they're going to beat Milwaukee. They beat Milwaukee. I said they're going to beat the Boston Celtics. They beat the Boston Celtics. I didn't say the Lakers. So the Lakers are going to win the series. Here they are. I have a chance to come back from 3-1 to beat them. 10:54 p.m. right now, and I'm playing golf at 9:50. So it's awesome. And I'll create a thumbnail. So Miami Heat, they're in the finals, obviously. There's got to be a superstar at home watching this game. I want to go to Miami, So I don't think it'll be a superstar in this free agency, but 2021's free agency class, I think Miami might get someone. I don't know who it is though. I'll have to look at that. But in the next podcast, we'll most likely go over who can the Miami Heat get for to be that second guy to Butler and Tyler Hero and all those guys. But they might not even need one because Tyler Hero, being his third year by then, he might be like Devin Booker. Speaking about Devin Booker, like that transition. But speaking about Devin Booker, he sold his house in Phoenix, I think $3.4 million. Pretty nice house. Or it's not in Phoenix, but why'd he sell that in Arizona? Questionable. I think Devin Booker has come to the Wolves. Or I don't know if he's come to the Wolves, but it's just weird why he'd sell that super nice house in Arizona where he plays basketball for the Phoenix Suns. He is an NBA player and he got paid, so maybe he's just moving houses. But, me being a Wolves fan would like to think that there's a deal lined up and it's going to happen. And it'd be great if it is reported that Devin Booker bought a house in Minnetonka and his neighbors of D'Angelo Russell and Towns. If you're not from Minnesota, Minnetonka is where a lot of rich people live. There's a lot of nice houses and a very nice lake there. Just so you know, get a little context. That'd be amazing if we got Booker. Or Ben Simmons would be great, like I went over. Oladipo. So I don't know. Oladipo says he doesn't want to leave Indiana, but then you hear Indiana rumors of Oladipo's leaving. So I don't know what's going on there. But he could totally. I don't know what teams. They're not necessarily rumors, but there's trades that people have set up for the Wolves trade for Oladipo, and I think they're bad trades. The 1 pick and Jarrett Culver for Oladipo. No. I'd rather have Anthony Edwards, or I'd rather have Lauri Markkanen in the 4 pick and draft Obi Toppin, or Danny Avdija, whoever it is. Like I was talking about Paul George trade at the beginning. That's going to be a target for Devin Booker as well. They have assets to trade for him. You can argue they have better assets than the Wolves to trade for Devin Booker. But there's some minor rumors. They weren't huge that Paul George could be leaving. Paul George could be getting traded to Brooklyn Why would this happen? So Brooklyn, they want to add a third superstar. Why would the Clippers do this? That chemistry in the bubble was horrible. People were rolling their eyes on Paul George's speech, as that was reported. No one was super happy about what he was saying. He played horrible in the playoffs. As my monitor turns off because I haven't been touching my screen, and it's not back on. So what would this trade look like? So Karis LeVert would be the key player, rising star. Then you'd add, so it probably looks something like Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen, is what I'm assuming, and maybe a first round pick, 2 first round picks for Paul George. It's probably what it would look like. Would I do this if I'm either team? I don't know. I'd consider it if I'm both teams. For Brooklyn, it's really enticing because you're adding a third superstar, but at the same time, you already have 2 superstars, and Paul George is kind of broken, and Karis LeVert's a rising star. If I'm the Clippers, would I do this? I'd consider it. Same reason for Brooklyn, except the opposite. You're getting all these young stars who are really good for a broken Paul George, who I don't know if he's broken. It's kind of disrespectful, but he's not playing very well. Put it that way. So yeah, Devin Booker or Paul George said Nets confirmed. That could be a thumbnail and title. I actually have the thumbnail. I made the thumbnail because I thought that's what it was going to be called. But then the Lakers lost and the Heat won. And thinking about it now, I probably should have just made LeBron an Finals MVP trophy and called it LeBron wins the NBA Finals in 4 rings. Is he better than Michael Jordan or something like that? But I stumbled upon this post about 2 years ago. Or no, it's the NBA 2 years ago. And I think it's just so crazy that only 2 years ago, Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, and Paul George were on the same team. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan are on the same team. Boogie and AD were on the same team. And Isaiah Thomas and LeBron were on the same team. That's just so crazy. But that was only 2 years ago. Yeah, Booker sold $3.45 million mansion. Oh yeah, Tampa Bay yesterday night, or Thursday night. You guys will be seeing this Saturday, so about 2 days ago. For you guys, Tampa choked. Brady pulled a J.R. Smith and forgot what down it was. They're claiming he didn't. That's BS. He definitely forgot what down it was. He held up before and looked confused why the Bears were celebrating. Yeah, he's J.R. Smith confirmed. Pretty crazy that the GOAT would forget it like that. Is it his fault necessarily though? I don't know. Because is he calling the plays or is it the coach calling the plays into his headset and he yells them? Who knows? But all we know is Tom Brady is looking like Michael Jordan on the Wizards, but worse. Because people forget Michael Jordan on the Wizards was pretty good. He was like 22-6'6". Tom Brady's not looking great. He looks streaky. This is what it looks like. It looks like he has to put in a lot of effort to make simple things happen. Like it looks really hard for him right now. Gronk is also looking like the Hulk, but not the Hulk. When he's in human form, that's what he's looking like. That was pretty funny. We can go over my fantasy football team this week. It looks a little sketchy, but I am going against the worst team, so it gives me a little bit of hope. Actually, a lot of hope. I think I'll be okay. Fantasy basketball will be fun. Not as many people are active in this league, which kind of sucks. But I'm either starting Deshaun Watson or Josh Allen at quarterback. I don't know yet, because Josh Allen's playing the Titans. I have Joe Mixon, Mike Davis, Mike Evans. I had 15 points out of Robbie Anderson, George Kittle, Raheem Mostert, and the Atlanta kicker and San Francisco defense. Eckler's injured. Odell has a bad matchup. Christian McCaffrey's injured. Fantasy basketball is going to be fun, though. I think I'm going to have more fun with that than football. Ooh, I can pick my streak tonight. Let's see. Who do I want? I can have Clemson beating Miami. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Sorry. Because Clemson's gonna probably go undefeated and win this national championship, like they always do. North Carolina's ranked 8th in football. That can't be right. It's gotta be like for their conference. That'd be pretty crazy if they are ranked 8th though. I don't have much else. Let's go on Bleacher Report real quick. What's trending on NBA rumors? Because right now the top news is Jimmy Butler. NBA rumors. Here we go. Oh yeah, so Tyronn Lue is getting interviews with the Rockets. Jeff Van Gundy's also getting interviewed by the Rockets, and John Lucas, who's like an assistant coach for the Rockets, is also getting the interview. Brandon Ingram will likely get a max extension. Knicks are leading towards taking Cole Anthony in the draft. Rockets are met with Kenny Atkinson, who was the coach of the Nets, and then the Nets fired him. Bradley Beal is saying he's going to give it a shot with John Wall. I don't know how well that will go, but let's see. Alvin Gentry is an assistant coach for the Sacramento Kings now. Oh yeah, Isaiah Thomas. He had that hip injury, in case you guys don't remember, in the Celtics. He was insane. Then he hasn't been the same since because of the injury. Apparently, he said the hip has been bothering him consistently, and he finally got it fixed. So I think you take a chance on him, no matter what team you are. I don't think it's a bad idea. And mind-blowing trades for every team. Oh, there's literally mind-blowing trades for every team. Okay. Let's go to the Wolves. Who do they have the Wolves? Let's see this. The mind-blowing trade for the Wolves. For the Rockets, they get Draymond Green. Indiana Pacers get Westbrook. Clippers get Joel Embiid for Paul George. Lakers get Kevin Love. That's not actually a horrible trade for Danny Green, KCP, and JaVale. Grizzlies get Andre Drummond. Miami Heat get Towns for Bam Adebayo and Kendrick Nunn. Milwaukee gets CJ McCollum for Chris Middleton. Timberwolves get Devin Booker for number 1 overall pick, number 16 pick, 2023 lottery protected, Jarrett Culver, Josh Okogie, and James Johnson. That could happen, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if we did that. That'd be a great trade for us. And New Orleans gets Ben Simmons and Al Horford for a whole bunch of players. Drew Holiday, Lonzo Ball, and JJ Redick being the keys. But that's pretty much it for the podcast. Again, 11:05 now. Really hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you did, subscribe right now. Just click it. It's free. If you don't enjoy it, you can unsubscribe. But you're gonna enjoy it. Make sure to turn post notifications on so you get it right when I upload. Be the first one to comment too. Comment anything. Comment 1. Right? Just comment 1 if you're still listening. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave a review. If I get more consistent reviews on Apple Podcasts, I'll read them out. But hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.